go ahead and get in here. So I'm going to have to just split up this episode a little bit. And by split up the episode, I actually just mean like there's going to be a main window, and then off on the side, I'm going to be just doing my 150, my 150 full auto.
Ah, it's a great life.
Which team did you end up with on the full auto life? I know that Are you also swapping out MC?
No.
Okay.
I still need to level up this last character in the back.
I swapped out
And
MC.
Nier's here just in case things go wrong.
Yeah, I took out Nier because I don't have an MC. um, the the fun thing for this is that this is actually how I'm getting Nighthound from 1 to 30. All right. Anyway,
That's how I'm doing Monk.
I already finished Monk, so yeah, that's the next one. All right. Let's go ahead and
But yeah, the team I ended up with is Fediel, Lich, and Cassius.
nice. All right. So, while that game runs itself, welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode 262 with Vibrating Sheep and
Hey, it's DJ. We finally did an intro after like 3 weeks.
I remembered because there's nothing else for me to be doing while I'm watching Unite and Fight play itself.
True.
But anyway, so we've got a few things to talk about. We can talk a little bit about Unite and Fight. We don't really talk about like rewards or anything like that anymore. But we do talk about just like fun things that are happening out of this. So we've got
Like
that.
Mammoth.
Spoiler, jeez. So anyway,
People already saw it on Twitter and everywhere.
yeah, people already saw it everywhere. So anyway, what do you want to start with, DJ? New
The
stuff?
Mammoth.
The Mammoth? All right. So everybody's talking about Mammoth. So with Mammoth, what do you think happened, DJ, in the code?
Wrong pointer.
Wrong pointer?
It's
Why did
usually wrong pointer.
Why do you think it only happened to some people though, with a wrong pointer?
Probably some overflow happened or something happened. I don't know.
'Cause-
I would have to look at their data logs.
Yeah,
and,
it's
I don't have access to that.
It's one of those
Hi, I'm
great
QA.
it's one of those great mysteries of Granblue Fantasy where it's just like some of these bugs you can understand, right? Where it's like, oh, they underflowed a number. Like you remember when Kumbira combined with the Cagliostro meter actually gained negative meter, and you're like, ah, I know exactly how this happened.
To be fair, that's not underflowing. That's actually working as intended.
It's going below 0. But anyway, and then some of them are just mysteries where you're just like, wait, how does this work? Why is it that if you skin on a CA on a character who doesn't do damage, the boss instantly dies?
That one was probably underflow.
Maybe, probably, I don't know. And then this one, yeah, like where in the code was it? Was it because of Golden Tyrant, you think? That they just suddenly had an old Earth boss, the previous Earth boss, instead of our Artemis?
They probably the way it's coded, probably because it's new. Usually, when there's a new feature, things break. Welcome to Technology 101, folks.
Oh boy, like people say spaghetti code as a derogative, and it's just like all code is spaghetti. People who
True.
worked in video games know this is as gospel. All code is spaghetti, so it serves people well to remember that. Whew.
You know who people understand the most? People who work
Developers,
in those fields.
yeah, people who work in QA, people who work in yeah, people who just understand how video games work and how tech debt works. And you're just like, yeah, something in the code from 8 years ago interacted weirdly, and we don't know what happened, but there you go. We fixed it, though. But yeah, there's a video on Granblue EN that I kept because I was able to join someone else's mammoth, and it just um it pops up the name Artemis, and then the Artemis screen wipes, and suddenly there's a mammoth there, and you're just like,
Right.
hmm.
That 156 did well against that mammoth.
The other fun thing is that mammoth's line when you join is "I'm awake," and so the Japanese are like, "No, don't wake
Go
up.
back
Go
to
back to
sleep.
sleep. Get back to sleep, please."
We'll see you next month.
Oh boy. Yeah, this game is ancient HTML, which is the grandest spaghetti. Oh man. It's so beautiful though. Also,
It's
thank you
really
for the
funny.
resub, DJ. I just
Oh,
noticed
hi,
it in my
yeah.
feed. Uh, I
I
turned
always do that before anything.
Yeah. I turned off alerts a while ago, so I need to turn that back on at some point. Anyway, um, that makes this one of the most memorable Uniting fights on record, just because you're just like, you remember
Memorable
the
in a
bad
funny
things.
way.
Yeah, you remember the bad things a lot, where it's like, oh man, Slayer's Uniting fight was the worst, etc., 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 and then you're like, you remember the time the boss got replaced by, the boss just casually got replaced by freaking Mammoth. Why? I don't know.
The sad part is that he was still Earth.
Oh man, yeah. There was a wonderful mystery tweet for if you didn't know what was going on. Someone had the God Squad. It was like Fediel, Six, Lich, and it's like, yep, I got my full auto on Nightmare 100. It's 9.5 minutes, or Nightmare 95, and it's like, hmm. uh,
Thank
I
God that they only had to take down United Fight for only an hour.
They took it down for 45 minutes, and they gave us 25 free badges as a result. So you know what?
I'll take that. That's free badges.
It's free money. So yeah, I will definitely take this. All
It's
right.
also early day, so it doesn't hurt my ranking.
Yeah. Um, are you ranking? Like, are you at
Nope.
80K? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was
I'm
about to
busy with
say.
work, so I don't pay. I like sometimes pay attention to United Fight tapping the button.
Hmm. No, that's fair. That's fair. That I always preach. Go exactly as hard as you feel comfortable with, and which does not interfere with your life. And I do that myself. Like, the main reason that I am in top 80K is because I can just have another computer next to my computer, and it will be running Granblue Fantasy on the side, and every 4.5 to 5.5 minutes, depending on when I cross 50%, then I reach over and tap it again.
Yeah, my
Uh,
thing was that I got like super in focus on looking at this code, and it suddenly became 3 o'clock. I'm like, what happened?
that's good. That's a good flow for work. All right. So, that all aside, let's get to the new characters, shall we? And
Wait,
by new,
you want to talk about our like MVPs, the secret MVPs of this United Fight, which is Cassius and Zahek.
well, okay. So that's true. I was before I forgot and I got into the flow. I was actually gonna go back to the Cassius tweet that we made from last year. So Cassius SSR. Wait.
Mine still doesn't have his third skill.
I'm gonna go just read out loud some like reactions to Cassius's kit if I can find them. Let's see if they're still here. Do, 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 do. It won't let me read quote tweets from a year ago. Curses!
I mean, it's like Twitter's bad at archiving or something.
Oh, there it is. Here's one. This skill set is why I wanted him to be a gotcha character. I predicted we would get something slightly better of his original event character skill set. Oh well, if he gets a good version, free skin.
He's a free, he's a free good character. I don't know what's wrong with people.
Yeah, we were talking about this last year when he came out, and we were just like, if there are things that let you just whatchamacallit, dispel every turn, there are ways to use that. Like we said this with Elmot, right? And it's just like if
Too bad
any
Alma came late, sadly.
Elmot did come home late. But like, have you seen the full auto dark Blue Sea videos? And have you seen who's
They
the
use
featured
Cassius,
stars?
right?
What was that?
They use
They use
Cassius, right?
they use Cassius and they use Zek. And so this is not new tech. This is not like coming out of nowhere if you've been paying attention to what people are doing. And it's like people who dispel every turn reliably, even more reliably than Vikala does. They have a job. They do that job really well, and they do only that job. So I personally can't use Cassius because I don't have Fedial defense for him, so he dies. He just falls over
Yeah, he
before
will
he
die.
finishes it because he doesn't have the defense to do this. You know?
Uh, th- Things that I always mentioned back when we did the Elmont video episode, by the way,
Hmm.
is that usually the only thing that causes a boss to get a buff is for them to CA. Cassius is able to get his D spell off when the enemy CAs. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. It's you know, sometimes you don't want a toolkit. Sometimes you actually really do just want the exact right size of wrench or screwdriver. You know?
I mean, he has a pretty good toolkit though. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Stack
All
full
right.
attack defense down, nice.
So anyway, that's that. Let me go ahead and switch windows for a second here. So let's talk about new characters. New characters instead of characters who were always secretly good and just needed to have the right context for themselves. All right. So as I go over to the draw screen, it's like Zehek is right there. Who do you want to talk
No.
about first?
One, I'm glad that neither of these are grand. Two,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about Cupitan.
All right, Cupitan. Let's go take a look at her. So, characters
We got
all
her
the way
pretty
down in
fast,
water.
all things considered.
All right, do you want to look at her weapon first, or does her weapon not matter, and we should just go straight to her?
Let's just brief over it. All right, crit on increased crit on CA, big crit, small attack. Cool. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, back to Cupitan herself. So the high level thing that we looked at, people just looked at it and went, "Oh, it's water Sora's." Remember what we said about the Knight of Ice, where we were looking for someone like Sora's? We just needed, a multi-hit, multi-nuke character, and it's like someone who was more useful than Lady Caterpillar.
Lady Caliber sucks. Let's be honest.
But she does one job really well,
A
and
lot
she,
of hits.
yeah,
That's what she does.
that is all
However,
that
now
she.
we have Kubiton.
Well, people who have Cupitan. If you have a Knight of Ice team, if you have a Knight of Ice grid, they have now created the character who benefits the most from the Knight of Ice in the game. Um,
So my theory, when I first saw her kit, my
mhm.
first thought was, I'm just gonna make her Philene and Lancelot.
I mean, yeah,
A lot of skill damage flying around everywhere.
it's a lot of Glaciate.
Yeah, well, she has the chance to Glaciate. Let's talk about that.
All right, so which field do you want to start with?
We should actually start with Seventh Kaleidoscope first, actually, because it's
Seventh
important to talk
Kaleidoscope.
about other things.
Yeah, so if you've played as Yukata Rosamia, then you have seen the effects of just a similar effect to Seventh Kaleidoscope. So it picks 2 out of 7 random things instead of 1 to 5 out of 5 for her for Rosamia. And unlike Rosamia, these just stay for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, they're
It,
permanent. They're permanent buffs to her skill one.
mhm. They're permanent buffs to her, and when her skill 1 fires, it gets extra effects based on one of the Roy G. Biv arrows that she has. So
All
each
right,
of them.
so red is a D spell, which is nice if you have a back row Maria Teresa, especially.
Hmm.
Orange is 2 turns of accuracy down. That's always good.
Yeah, there it is. 2 turns of accuracy down. It's on an 8-turn cooldown, but this 8-turn cooldown is super fake.
It's a 7 turn cooldown because she's a rainbow.
She's yeah. So one, it's a rainbow. Two, when she CAs, that it just comes back, and she has ways to give herself meter back. So let's keep going. All right, we made it
All
to
right,
orange.
Yellow, two turn cut to all debuffs on your allies. Has
That one
uses.
is one of those things that's useful, but never great.
I'm gonna take her to Bubs and find out.
But if you're going to Bubs as water, then you just never get debuffed. I'm just saying there. Alright, keep going.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about how good water is?
Keep
Yeah.
going.
All right. Anyways, green. 2,000 heal to your party.
That's fine. It's free. It's free real estate.
Is also not on a green button.
Mm-hmm.
Blue, glaciate. Indigo, 3 turns of petrify.
3 turns of Petrify has been doing a lot of work on bosses that it's allowed to work on. So, for example, Nightmare 100, Petrify for 3 turns at the beginning of the fight made things really smooth. Same thing with Nightmare 100. Yeah, like the Nightmares 95 and 100. You know, things that it works on, Petrify is really powerful. The trick is just finding things that it works on. Alright, next.
Violet, 3 turns of special attack damage lowered.
That's as long as they are actually going to do a special attack at any point, that's good. It's great.
And also to note that for each one of her arrows that she has, she gets 5% boost to skill damage cap, up to 35% because there's 7 of them.
Alright. So, that's her skill 1. It's 7 hits, which is important. Because, once again, we're talking about Knight of Ice here, and we're talking about up to 1.4 million extra supplemental damage with double Knight of Ice.
And that's also not counting your crit stuff either.
Your anything else, yep. Alright, Rainy Refulgence. So, this is the one where she gives herself meter, which matters because her CA gives her skill 1 back. And, you know, more reasons to have delays, more ways to have them. And you can get them twice with Draw of the Rainbow.
Oh yeah. Also, I like how it's not special delays, sadly, so it doesn't go bypass some other rules.
Mm-hmm. It
But
doesn't suck the dot out.
Yeah. So you actually have to land it in order to get the 20 meter.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then this is the other thing. So, 7th Kaleidoscope gives her those arrows when she uses buff skills, and she only has one, and it's a pretty important one. This is the Sora's ability right here. So, if you're playing her manually, which you're probably going to be doing, then, you know, you hit Aspect Trajection. You don't get any buffs out of it, but oh well.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, you hit Radiant Refulgence.
You don't get anything for that on turn 1.
You don't get anything for that turn 1. Then you hit this. And then you have 2 arrows, and then you get 2 effects out of Aspect Trajection twice. Then you get Radiant Refulgence twice. And so that's, you know, your casual 42 hit opener.
I like how they had to, like, give it its own symbol for this, too, because Sora's doesn't have a symbol for his. It's part of his passive.
Mm-hmm. This one. This one, yeah, because it's a variation on what Fiora has. So yeah, and then, hey look! She's the fish, and what does the fish do? It gives water allies supplemental skill damage.
50k. Pretty good.
Does it stack with both Knights of Ice, or is it on the same mod?
Should be a different mod. It's not a weapon. Not a weapon.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason I ask this is because of Soul Remnant. Every once in a while, I have to check, and usually
Soul Remnant sucks. We want to go back like a couple weeks ago with my rant on that.
Soul Remnant sucks. All right, so anyway, people are looking at this character and going, "All right, she's Sora's," and for the purposes of just crapping out skill damage on a single turn, damage per turn, she is Sora's. There are a couple of things that make her slightly worse than Sora's. There are a couple of things that make her slightly better than Sora's. Everything's about context. So, the thing that doesn't make her Sora's is, number 1, she doesn't have Lobelia. So, you're ending these cooldowns the old-fashioned way, either by letting time pass or by hitting a Keelan on turn 12 because you are water, or, you know, you're doing it on turn 1 but only once because you're using something Keelan.
I feel like comparing against Earth is not fair to anything really. Let's be honest.
Comparing her to Earth is important though because of Sora's existing in context, right? There's things that make Sora's extra crazy good. Um, and part of it is because one, every single button gets a lightning bolt, which is also Lobelia. Two, the cooldowns get cut very frequently, but also by Lobelia. And so Cupitan's partner is basically she's setting up other characters a little bit too because if you're lucky, then she's putting glaciates on for Lancelot, or she's just helping defensively, providing a little bit of supplemental healing, etc., etc. She's delaying, so she's doing things, and then every time that she CAs, which is going to be pretty often, then she gets to do this stuff again, and then every time she CAs, it'll add on arrows, and eventually this thing just does everything. She'll
Shit the rainbow.
yeah. Um, and so, most of the videos that use her to her utmost potential are basically like, all right, it is now turn 12. I have gotten to the point where I can summon Keelan from my grid. I will now, do this 42 hit combo. Keelan, do another 42 hits. And then the ones that people have been talking about involve using Shalem's just time stop button, taking a turn, summoning the second Keelan, doing another 42 hits, etc., etc., etc. It's actually probably 49 hits at some of these points because then she'll CA and start the next turn with aspect trajectory off of cooldown. And so, yeah, 4 turns later, that's 40. Let's say 49 times 5 turns of doing this. That's 200 some hits. And it doesn't necessarily matter what those hits are because you're just adding 200k onto them anyway. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. She does a lot. It's everything. She deserves it.
I mean, she needs happiness somewhere.
Just chase that rainbow. Chase that rainbow Cupitan. She's disgustingly good in specific contexts. Bravo.
Way better than the weapon she holds.
The actual something killing the bow that does not miss, the bow that does not fail. Anyway, so Cupitan, are you ticketing her instantly upon availability for surprise ticket?
When they showed her in an event, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this character.
Oh yeah, huh? Is it because she's a quintuplet?
No.
No, okay, that's fine. She's just a funny character. There was a great tweet out there that was like, I would like Cupitan on my team, not necessarily because of anything else, but I just want nothing but crybabies on my team. So it would be her and Vayne, and then I don't know, you fill in with like SR Lamretta or something. Just an entire team that's just constantly weeping. All right, are we done with Cupitan?
Yep.
Alright, moving on to the next character who came out. It is Little Wonder Yggdrasil. So,
welcome to Rage of Bahamut, folks.
Yeah. So, one thing to talk about, the first thing is her weapon itself. It is healing cap, HP, and attack. And it is 4-starable, and I am never making fun of healing cap and HP on the same weapon again.
Is it because of Orphilia? Remember when we were like, man, what fight do we need this in? Oh.
Also, the Tico's Lancet.
That one was good. I have like 3 of those.
Yeah. I'm never making fun of this again. Notably, the this whole thing, when you 4-star it, does not improve the skills at all. It improves the CA as far as I can tell, and it's just like eh.
I mean, skill level 15 is still nice.
The skill level 15 on an HP skill and the big boost to healing cap. All right, that's good. Back to the character. I'm never making fun of that combo again. All right, Yggdrasil. Where do you want to start with her?
I have no clue. You go first.
Okay, so The way to sort of understand Yggdrasil, basically, has been put forth to me by our resident Wind Zephyrus god, is in the context of comparing her to Satyr, the new Earth Satyr that came out. Because, all right, so she's not gonna be attacking. She has low attack, but if she doesn't take any,
20% reduced.
yeah, she has low hostility, and if she managed to avoid taking damage, then everyone gets healed.
500.
Meh. 10% boost to meter.
That's always good.
That is important because as CAs get more and more important in the end game, then this effect becomes more and more important. You know, giving meter to the cow, amazing. Giving meter to, say, Seaphon, fine. Giving meter to, there's a lot of characters in Wind who can benefit a lot from a constant source of meter. Um, and
Yeah,
then
just don't get hit.
here's the other thing: based on crests, she boosts meter gain. What is the max at 5 crests, DJ? Do you have the numbers in front of you?
You get 4% per crest, so it goes up to 20 at 5.
So 20%. So every turn, if she doesn't get hit, or if she managed to do something like mirror image or shield or something, then you get 12 meter on everybody. Neat. Oh, by the way, she has a crest and a 30% meter gain. So, you can just casually make that 36.
Yeah, on a three turn cool, not 3 turn, 7 turn cooldown. You can't cheat it, sadly.
I think she'll be fine because all right, so
I love cheating buttons, though.
yeah, you're right. But here's the big thing on her. So, Sprouting of the Great Tree. It's a 5 turn 12 it's a 5 turn buff with a 12 turn cooldown. It gives you buffs can't be removed, which is a disgustingly
nice.
good effect.
I've seen pretty well used in a lot of things.
20% damage reduction and drain for 1,000 on attack. 5 out of 12 is not that great, but
It's very long.
But it's still very good when it's there. And then her heal is it's fairly moderate. It's 1,000, and then it has that 2 turn debuff cooldown. Once she has 5 crests, which happens after 1 press of Orogenesy into the 2 CAs into another. Yeah. Anyway, a decent amount of time into the fight, depending on how much crest that you're building on her. And Wind's crest building is basically Tiamat in terms of like characters people actually play.
Oh, what about Sarah? Well, anyways.
On characters that people actually play. Anyway, and you just get to heal a lot. She gives you a steady amount of meter, especially if you can protect her. Yeah, this is a tight little package of just utility.
I like how it's the complete opposite of a normal Yugu, where you don't want her, where you want her to get hit. This one you don't want to get hit at all.
Yeah, she's a little fairy. She's a little Shadowverse / Rage of Bahamut fairy. Look at this. All right, so, but yeah, like this is one of those characters where you can give her a shield and like have her block in V2 because it's not like she's doing damage for you anyway. She is there as a constant battery, her existence is uplift, and you just
you want to protect that.
And you just turn, let's just say Seaphon into a just constant CA tosser, and his CA's
How's that any different than normal?
He gives him extra turns of it, and then you just Fatal Chain, and your Fatal Chains, break omens no matter what they are, and you keep going. You just keep chugging along. You just get to do what you want, because that's what Wind does in V2 right now, as long as you have invested in level 150 Seaphon.
I mean, level 150 Seaphon is a V2 god.
There's a question in chat: is this a flashback, or did she really shrink? A fairy casts magic on her to make her look more like a fairy. That is the Fate episode.
I love Shadowverse.
and Rage of Bahamut. Anyway, uh, yeah, like she's one of the uh just good combination batteries and healers. And Wind, I don't think had that yet because Astariel is a nuker and a healer.
He's not a
Uh,
battery though.
yeah. Um,
You know the best battery is?
Monkey is a tank and a healer. The best battery is Cal.
No, Saphon.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, it's a spot. She can have she'll have spots. She'll have spots where she's useful. Full auto guard on or just playing her. You know, she just heals a lot steadily, and she just gives your team more stuff to do. Good stuff.
There's a lot of healing that goes on with this kid when it's going off.
Doesn't LER give meter too? Probably. I forgot. I forgot LER's.
He's in the back of my team.
She... Anyway, so those are the new characters. We've got one other thing to talk about, which is coming up, which is the outfits for young cat. Do you have any preference?
Like cats. Not really.
Yeah, neither have I. I know some people in the comments though who just like this one looks like my cat or this one looks like etc etc. Um, so they've wanted to do this for like 2 years, and this is their opportunity to do so. So they're like, yeah, let's take this opportunity.
Good old cats. Maybe this now we able to do that quiz show correctly.
All right, so with the rerun of the Many Lives of Cats, with the VA of Sen coming to Granblue TV channel, are you one of the people hoping for a new version of Sen?
I'm not hoping for one, but I'll guess Earth Sen to go with Dante.
SSR Young Cat. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going with this.
No, then they would have Deku on stream then.
Maybe we're both right. Anyway,
the cat will break his legs, and you're like, cat, no.
So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. Next week we'll have Kumbira 5-star to talk about. We'll have whatever the next event is to talk about in preview. What else is happening? We'll probably be able to have the weapon uncaps to talk about also, the 12 of those. But maybe not. We know for a fact that we're getting Kumbira. We know for a fact that there will be a preview for the next event. And yeah, that'll be it.
I'm excited for Kumbira.
Yeah, we'll have Babel. That's true. We usually don't talk that much about Babel unless there's something silly going on.
Like naked bubs.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. See you guys next time.
All right, later, folks.
All right, later, guys. Boop, boop, boop. And just like that, he is Vikala.
Who will go nude this time? Belial. It's the
That's
right progression.
Alright, guys. I'm just gonna stretch, and probably go back to playing Slay the Spire while GBF plays itself.
Your brain glucose.
Yep. I gotta spend my brain on something. Also, the Warriors are in overtime, so I'm trying very hard not to stress about basketball at the moment.
I see.